Hello, gorgeous students on the web. My name is Muhammad Azza Imamudi, and in this video, I'm your teacher, and I'm going to be teaching you everything you need to know about creating a simple HTML web page. So, what is actually a web page? We will go through the concepts gradually, and you will learn everything about HTML. And after taking part in this course, you will be able to create your own HTML page, or what is so-called web page. We will distinguish between web page and website later on, in the upcoming videos. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to know about HTML is a language to build any website. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's the main and the basic language used in every website for you, that you can use it to create elements on the web page. To show you examples of that, I opened my own website, techlearn.ir, and in this website, as you can see, it's in Persian language, or maybe google.com. So in this website, each element you see on the web page is represented by HTML, and HTML is a language that is responsible for creating each of these elements on the web page. As you see here, I have a simple menu, so all of these are created by HTML. I have a Google logo, which is an image that is created by HTML. I have an input. We call these types of fields inputs, and these inputs are also created by HTML. I have this microphone icon, and I have the search icon, and search icon right here, and I have Google search button, and I'm feeling lucky button. All of these, everything you see on the web page is created using HTML. So HTML is a language that you can code to create these websites. Every website on the web uses HTML in its core. And in the footer, we call this part footer. And in the footer of this website, we have effective HTML. This menu here and the menu right here, which talks about privacy terms and settings, are also created by HTML. This text is made by HTML. I have put this text just by HTML. Okay, so next to HTML, we have a well-known language, a popular language that you will hear its name frequently, that it is called CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets, and it is a language just like HTML, just what HTML is. It's a simple language that you can style elements that you have created using CSS. To give you an example, this menu right here is created using HTML. In HTML, I go and write a tag, what is so-called tag, or we can say statement, which represents, which shows, which builds this text here. Okay, I have created the text itself using HTML, and I can use and adopt CSS to style this text, to give it styles, different styles. I can give it to have a color of white. I can tell it to I can move it to the right side of my website. I can move and align this image to be centered. I can align all of these elements. We call these elements. I can align these elements to be centered using CSS. So the element itself is created using HTML, and we can style those elements using CSS. So CSS is here to help us beautify our website, to align the elements of our website. As you see here, I have Google search button. So this button itself is made with HTML, and it styles, and the text color, the background color of this button is all of these kinds of styles are given using CSS. So each and every website open in your everyday life, like TechLearner or like Google.com, like YouTube.com, all of these websites use HTML and CSS as their main language to create the elements. To create elements and give them styles. So we create the main and the basic element itself. I mean, just simple element is created using HTML, and I use HTML. The developers of Google have used HTML to build and to actually construct this website, and they use CSS to give it styles. Styles, what I mean by styles means beautification. It means I want to give some styles, maybe a color of white, maybe I want to align these, I want to tell them to be next to each other. I can give them a color of white and anything you want. Okay, so it's about beautification. CSS is about beautification, and HTML is about construction. So let's get started and create our very first HTML page, our very first web page. Guys, let me tell you something right now. To write your codes, you have to have an application, you have to have an editor, you have to have an editor, or maybe a software that contains all your code, that provides you a place to write all the codes you want. So you have to download and install a specific application or software or editor, what is so-called editor, to write your codes in, to implement your website in that environment. So what I would recommend you is Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code is a very popular and well-known software, or maybe editor, with many advanced features like extensions, like advanced search, and having a great support for source control, and many other features that you will explore. So this is the environment of Visual Studio Code software. To download the Visual Studio Code, you just have to go to the website, code.visualstudio.com. It's the official website for downloading Visual Studio Code. If you just search download VS Code, and VS Code stands for Visual Studio Code. So in this website, you are able to download the version you intend to use. So if you use Windows, you can go for this one. If you use Mac, you can go for this one. And if you use Linux, you can go for these options. So once you downloaded the files, having downloaded the file, there is a simple pop-up that shows up, and then there are some steps, just some nexts. Just click on the next buttons, and then your software, your editor, Visual Studio Code, is installed on your system. So having installed Visual Studio Code, just go for Windows button, and if you use Windows. So go here and search for Visual Studio Code. And Visual Studio Code gives you an environment to write all your codes in. At the top section, in the very top section, I have a simple menu which has File, Edit, Selection, View, Go, and these are all the options available as a menu in my VS Code editor. So the only thing that needs to be done is that you click on the File menu. In the File menu, actually this pop-up is opened, and then you go for Open Folder. You want to have a folder created. So let's just go here and create a new folder. I would call it my HTML, maybe Learn HTML. So the first thing to create a simple website is you go to your desktop or any other destinations, and then you create a new folder to write all your HTML and CSS codes in that folder. So you're going to manage and organize your files in this folder. Okay, the first time that you install Visual Studio Code, it will open up and demonstrate you such page and environment. So it won't have any folders already opened. So you click on the open folder here, or maybe go to File and Open Folder. After you clicked on the open folder, you go for the folder that you just created. It was Learn HTML. It's this one, and then I click on Select Folder. So our VS Code is going to open that folder and enable that in this environment. So now I am in the Learn HTML folder. The next thing that needs to be done is that you have to create a new file, a new HTML file. If you move your mouse up here, you will see a new file option. So there are many options here. It's called the File Explorer. This environment, if you click this paper button here, you will see the File Explorer. This environment is called File Explorer. So in here, you right click and you want to create a new file, or you can just simply click on this icon here. So it brings me a simple input to write the name of my file. So it asks me that, what is the name of your new file? So I would go for index.html, index.hypertext markup language. You might ask me in this level, that why we call this file index. Guys, traditionally the main page among all websites is called index between programmers. You can name it as anything you like. However, it is better to name the main page of a website index.html. In this HTML file, I'm going to write my very first text in a simple web page. Okay. As you might have paid attention, the extension of HTML files is .html. If you want to create a new CSS file, you can create it as style, and this is also those traditional naming system for the main page of main CSS file of the main page. You can name it as style.css. So the extension of CSS files is CSS. The extension of JavaScript files is .js. The extension of Python files is .py. The extension of C# files is .cs. So each and every programming language has its own extension that you can go for. Okay, I have created a simple HTML file, a simple HTML file. So, guys, let's go for a text. Yes, just easy as a cake. So walk in the park. I'm going to create a new text, but initially, I have to tell the browser that I am using HTML in this file. Please be aware, I am using HTML. I'm not using any other languages. So be aware, be awakened. So you have to announce and notify the browser that you are using the HTML language and not any other languages. So with that said, I'm going to write and put a simple angle bracket. We call this angle bracket. It's a comparison operator in mathematical things. So it's an angle bracket with one opening angle bracket. Put I am writing HTML and then ending angle bracket. Wow, what just happened? And hit enter. We first created a statement. We call these statements, so HTML statement. HTML statements, opening HTML statement is here to help me make my browser understood that I am using HTML in this file. I am notifying my browser. I am making aware. I am making my browser aware. I am telling my browser that I am using HTML language. So as you paid attention, I put an angle bracket, an HTML statement. We call these statements in HTML. Statement of HTML, and put an ending angle bracket. What just happened? The VS Code IntelliSense. The VS Code IntelliSense puts another closing statement for this opening statement. So we call this opening statement and this ending statement. Okay. Everything you write inside these tags, what? Statements, not tags. They are not yet tags. These are statements. Everything you write inside these statements are considered as HTML. So I would go for a simple text. Guys, before we go on and put a simple text, you have to know something, that all websites are split into, all web pages are split into two sections, one of which is the settings of the website. What I mean by settings is that any styles on the web page, the title up here, and all the styles, I mean all the CSS appliances, all the all the application for CSS, all of these are considered as settings. I give it to have a color of white. I told this menu to go to go and stick to the right side of my web page. I have told these menus to be white. I have told this to have a background color of black. So all of these are settings. CSS is settings. So our websites are split into two sections or types. One of which is settings, which is generally CSS, which is almost CSS. CSS is all the settings that you have on the web page, and the other one is the main content you have on the web page. So the main content on the web page is the body of your web page. So our websites are split into two sections, one of which is settings, which was mostly CSS, and the title up here. This is not CSS, this is title, so, and it is considered as settings too. And the other one is the main content you have. It's mostly HTML. So I have created these texts by HTML. So these core contents are represented by HTML, which is considered the main body of your website. So our websites are divided into two sections, one of which were the settings, which in our case in HTML is called head. Everything that goes inside these head tags is considered a setting. So, and the other one was the main content of the website. The main content of a website, the body of a website. I mean, all the text, all the images, all the videos, which are all represented by HTML, are considered the body of the web page. I write body and then hit enter. Yes, this is the auto completion of the VS Code. So VS Code helps us to have a simple auto completion. If you write the statement name, these are called statements. Head statements, HTML statements, and if I go here and If I go down here and write body, body is the name of my statement, body statement. And if I hit enter, I would have body statement. It is called opening statement of body tag. And this one right here is called ending statement of body tag. Tag. Aha. We technically call these statements tag. From now, I expect you to call these tags, these elements as tags. These are all tags. HTML tag, head tag, body tag. These are all tags, okay? So I want you to call these as tags. Consider these tags, okay? We technically call all the commands and statements in HTML as tags. Body tag, head tag, HTML tag. HTML tag contains all the content of our website, whether CSS, it could be HTML, it could be anything, text, images, videos. So anything that you consider it as HTML must go inside HTML tags. Anything you consider it as settings must go inside header tags. And anything you consider it as the main content of the web page, such as text, like images, like videos, are considered as the body of the website. So body is the part, is a section, is a segment that users can see, check, and work with those parts. So body is anything the user can see. Okay, with these said, I'm going to create a simple text, a simple plain text. Guys, to do anything in HTML, like putting an image, like putting a video, like having a lot of text content, you can use, there is a tag for that specific purpose. If you want to put text content, there is a specific statement, there is a specific tag which is responsible for showing text content. There is a specific tag which is responsible for images, to put images with. There is a specific and special tag which is responsible for videos. It's for video putting purposes. So I'm going to go for a text content. So how do we create and put a text content? Just by going here. Anything, any purpose that you have in HTML has its own tag. So any name in HTML has its own tags. There is a tag available already in HTML for you to achieve those purposes. I have a p tag here, a p tag. I write p, and this list shows up, which is the IntelliSense, which is the auto completion of the VS Code of suggested and simple and related tags. I wrote a P, and it gives me back all the tags available in HTML which have P at the beginning of their name. I want to create and put a paragraph on my website. To put a paragraph on your website, you can use p tag. So p tag, P. I would go for P, which stands for paragraph. Anything that goes inside these p tags, opening tag, closing tag. Anything that goes inside these opening and closing p tags is considered a text content. As you paid attention that we put all the functionalities inside the opening and the closing tag. We never go here and create a text content like this outside of the HTML tag. We won't do that. We are not allowed to do that. That is considered a bad and, it's the worst way of doing things. It's considered a bad and a not efficient way of creating your website. So anything that you want to achieve, any purpose that you have in HTML, must go inside its tags. If you want to tell the browser that you're currently using HTML, use HTML tags and write all your tags inside the HTML tag. If you want to go for settings, you have the head tag, and all the settings should go just inside these head tags, not out of these head tags. Okay, if you want to create the main and the body content of your website, you mustn't go out of the body tag. It's considered a not efficient and great and optimized version of doing that. So if you want to do anything, just do it inside the expected tag. If you want to put anything the user can see, you must go here for the body tag, not out of the body tag. Don't put anything out of the body tags and head tags. So p tags, I want to create a simple text, guys. For we developers, we are called the developers. Developers or programmers are the people that are responsible for creating that website. We never carry about contents. We are not content generators. We are developers. The content doesn't matter for us. It is not important at all. We are developers. We are responsible for creating the structure, the main structure, and the whole structure of the website, the whole thing the user can see. We are not responsible. We don't shoulder the contents available in the website. Contents are for content generators, be aware. So as the content is not important for me and doesn't matter, I'm going to create what is so-called lorem. Lorem texts are just simple, and test text. Test text. Lorems are some tags, some content that are just to fill the space, are here just to occupy the space for test purposes. I am a developer. I'm not responsible for the content. So if I don't want myself to be amalgamated for the content things, I intend to have test contents that work out for me to go on doing my website. I don't carry about content. I am not a content generator. Content is for content generator, be aware. Lorem. I write a simple lorem, and it's another built-in feature of VS Code. Whenever you write lorem, it completes and it suggests you a text that has no meaning at all. So, once we have finished all of these things, as you see, I'm not using any settings in my head tags. Not even a single setting has been declared here. So, having finished this part, we are going to see the result of what we have done until now. I have a question from you. What is the result of this web page? And when and where can we see and check the results, what we have done? Yes, in the browser. Thank you. In the browser, the content and everything that we have here, the result of this goes right into my browser. So I have to check the results. The results and the outcome of an HTML page is simply shown in your browser. So the result and the outcome of the HTML file is a website, is a web page, which is explored in your browser simply. So, guys, in VS Code software, this is our editor. This is our powerful editor. It has a built-in section. It has a built-in feature, which is called extensions. And extensions are just extra features that can be added to your software environment to give it extra options, okay, to give it extra powers. For example, you can have auto close tag. You can search for extensions. It's a search box here. You can search for any extensions that you intend to download and install. So I have 22 extensions, and each of them has its own purpose. For example, this code runner is to run my JavaScript code because I'm a JavaScript developer. Is for me to run my JavaScript code inside my software. Better comments, or gives us a way to have better comments, more colorized colors. Auto rename tag is for HTML. You can go for auto rename tag and just write its name right here and download and install this version. And auto close tag. I have composers is for Laravel. And I have PHP, Postman, Open in Browser, and Material Icon Theme. Material Icon Theme, I highly recommend you install this icon theme. And it gives a beautified version of icons shown right here to VS Code. And you can download a theme for your VS Code too. A theme that colorizes your environment. I guess mine is Tokyo Night. Guess so, yes, Tokyo Night. It has 1 million downloads. And you can set the color theme to anything that you want. Mine is this one. Okay, the outcome and the result of our HTML pages is shown in the browser. So let's see the result in the browser. I would right click and go for open in other browser. It's an extension that you can quickly open and check the results of your HTML pages right inside your VS Code. So it gives you a quick access to, for running the HTML file. And it is called Open in Browser. It's another VS Code extensions. If I could find that, Open in Browser. Yes, it's right here. Open in Browser. It's an extension which allows you to open the current file in your default browser application. Yes. Okay, Open in Browser, which gives you an extra ability to run your codes inside your application in the software. So open in other browsers, I would go for this option, and then it opens up a pop-up which I can choose Google Chrome. Yes, it is our first page. It is our main page, and it is my web page, my website. So as you see here, I have a plain text here, and let's reset the zoom. So I have a simple text. Congratulations. So guys, it's enough for this session. We covered the basics of HTML, what HTML is, what is CSS, and how can you go for HTML tags, what are actually these called, and what is P. P is a specific tag in HTML which is responsible for text content, and body is everything that is considered as the body of a website goes inside the body tag, and head tag, everything that is considered as a setting, it goes right inside the head tag. And at the end, I want to show you what actually setting is. As I mentioned earlier, CSS is part of your settings of your website. So CSS is part of the setting of the website. We are not going to teach you CSS in this level right now. However, we have another type of setting, which is the title up here. This title of this web page is considered a setting, so it is considered as a setting. So anything that considered as a setting goes right inside the head tag. So I want to change. What if I want to change this title up here? I would go here and title tag, as I mentioned earlier. Again, any purpose. If you want to achieve any purpose in HTML, you have a specific and special own tag. So to have a title up here, to change the text content of this title up here, you have the title tag. sorry, title tag. So you have TechLearn, it's the name of my website.ir. Yes, this title changed, and it is an extra option which is considered as a setting, and anything that considered setting goes inside the head tag. So our website is split into two sections: settings, which is titles; meta tags, which is the concept of our next session; and any CSS code that you write. We don't know how to write CSS, but you have to know that. And the body tag, everything that is considered. Everything that is considered the main content of your website goes right inside the body tag. Or like text content, like image, like video, and any other medias, all of these are considered your body tag. And body tag is the white background right here. You know, this white background, this available free space, free gap, is the body tag. So body tag is the area which user can interact with your website, which can check and see all the options and boxes and anything that you have on your web page. Thank you so much, and have a good day.